Divide. Man, I gotta see this shit in real life. York, New York, the city's so nice. They named twice.
New York City, the Big Apple, Gotham. Under the name, this place needs no introduction. And our journey begins from the top of the rock at the Rockefeller Center. Take it all in. Built in the midst of the Great Depression, the Rockefeller Center represents the ambition and grandeur that has come to define New York City. It's a city within a city. Open public spaces, that famous ice skating rink with the gold statue, NBC Studios, and Radio City Music Hall. Grand Central Terminal still stands as one of New York City's most cherished landmarks. Maybe because its history is also a glorious story of creation, decline, and birth. Much like the story of New York City itself. With over 750,000 people passing through each day, Grand Central is one of the busiest train stations in the world. New York City's skyline is constantly evolving, rising higher, but it just wouldn't be the same without the OGs like the Chrysler Building, an architectural manifestation of the Art Deco era and the automobile age. It was at one point the tallest building in the world, until the Empire State Building squashed those dreams. You see, in the late 20s, as New York started booming, there was a race to build the largest skyscrapers, and the Empire State Building took home that title at 1,250 feet tall. The latest addition to the skyline is the Freedom Tower, and it overlooks the World Trade Center Memorial. It's a somber and reflective place to honor the victims of 9/11. Next to the Ground Zero Memorial is the Oculus Transit Hub. The building is a work of art, designed by Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava.
That is certainly
beautiful. And at a price tag of $4 billion, the Oculus is the most expensive train station.
$4 billion. Central Park.
People here come to Central Park to just escape the chaos of the city. And as summer turns to fall, the trees light up with colors and paints a vibrant picture of a much needed balance between the city and nature. And the park is open all season and for everyone. A literal melting pot of people of all races coming together. Another melting pot of the world is Washington Square Park in Greenwich Village. A great place to chill, relax, and do some serious people watching. Do I even have to mention New York City being a hub for fashion and trendsetting? Soho is where you go for all of that. After a little shopping, get your culture on at the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. One of the world's largest museums, with priceless art spanning over 5,000 years of cultures and time periods. The Charging Bull symbolizes Wall Street and the turmoil and uncertainty of the financial markets. It's headquarters to a lot of the major banks and stock companies. Wall Street's the financial capital of America, where the ups and downs of the stocks are played out in real time. Times Square, the crossroads of the world. Lights, advertising, Broadway shows, and people. Lots and lots of people. When the first immigrants came to the
First thing I saw when I came to America.
Statue of Liberty, the guiding light to that dream of a new life in America.
Salute.
The iconic Brooklyn Bridge is
First
the
place I ever landed. New York. Stayed the night.
the world's first water suspension bridge. Since 1883, millions of people have walked across and under its cathedral-style arcs. from incredible museums and art galleries to some of the world's best restaurants and shopping, New York City can be a dizzying and exhilarating place to visit. It's why you should check out ilovenewyork.com and plan your next trip.
Medici. Medici.
Whether you arrive in Venice by car or bus, this is usually the first square that you get to see. From now on, it's either on foot or by boat. The main and the most famous square of Venice is always bustling with life. If you want to see it from above, there is no better way than to climb to the top of the Campanile. Built in a mix of Italian and Byzantine styles and housing stunning gold-brown mosaics, this basilica is definitely a highlight of the city. This beautiful bridge was originally built in 1181. It was repeatedly replaced by new bridges until it reached its present-day form in 1591. Once it was finished, many people thought it would collapse as its predecessors did. So far, it lasts and remains one of the most popular sights of the city. Rialto Market is a great place to visit if you want to buy some vegetables, fruit, or fish. It has been a busy marketplace since the 11th century. The city-state of Venice was once a rich and important place, and therefore the seat of its government and the residence of the elected Doge is quite spectacular. Walk down the promenade that starts by the Doge's palace and ends by the Arsenale. There are many cafes located alongside it so you can rest and enjoy the view. Named after the prophet Moses, this Baroque church has an extraordinarily ornate facade, decorated with many statues, and also a very imposing interior. By far the prettiest view of the city is from the water. Gondolas and boats in general are historically the main means of transport in Venice and a popular tourist attraction. Even today, most of the city is a pedestrian zone with no cars allowed. You can take a ferry, a water taxi, or even a water bus when traveling around though. Cruising down the narrow canals and under the beautiful bridges gives you a fancy and comfortable opportunity to enjoy the serene atmosphere of traffic-free Venice. Venice is best known for its colorful masquerades and carnivals, and no carnival would be complete without the traditional masks that are also great souvenirs. All the bookworms should consider visiting this unique bookstore, where even the staircase is made of books. Some book, old or new, will surely catch your eye here. This basilica is one of the oldest and largest churches of this municipality, and contains priceless artworks from famous artists such as Titian or Tiziano and Bellini. It took over 100 years to build this church. Even though the Gothic exterior is rather plain, the interior makes up for it. The construction of this church was supposed to save the city from the Black Death, and many of the artworks decorating the interior refer to the illness, as does the name of the church. This wooden bridge belongs among the 4 Venetian bridges spanning the Grand Canal, offering what is supposedly the greatest view in the city, looking along the canal. This square actually is a shipyard which has been making and fixing gondolas, puparini, sandalos, and other traditional Venetian ships since the 17th.
Ooh, what breeze. Light breeze, girl.
Century. Apart from the colorful, picturesque houses, Burano Island is also famous for lace making, which has a lead. This is where your one day in Venice ends.
Alright. Lighting. Top of the mountain. What's the flag? Seriously? Fucking time just freezes. What if real life was like this? Just roses. Fucking fantastic. Okay. Yeah. It's my shit.
Nice.
My shit back, motherfucker.
I'm Pennywise. Thanks, now.
You got any weed, bro?
How are we on the streets? Are we?
Well, if you ain't got weed, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking for.
Think now. How are we on the streets? Are we?
Creepy motherfucker. This would be a lot cooler if my shit wasn't freezing. Let's try again. Shit. You got to be fucking kidding me. What the fuck? All my videos were fine until I got to this one. See if I can get some meat off this.
Nice boat. I'm paying you out this dancing now.
You're a fucking idiot.
How we aren't strangers, are we? Aren't you gonna come say hello?
Finally. Yeah, it needs to update. This is early VR. What are you doing, Turk? Fucking Mordor over here.
You want a balloon?
Okay, I want a balloon. Brad? Called Barry. Some motherfuckers just start jumping out of everywhere. What's this? Come with me. Gonna give an old man a heart attack. Fucking deadlights. Well, that was freaky. Damn, don't fall off, bro. Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Woo!